Hi, I'm LDS in Medium, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to try to bring religion and spirituality closer together, and this is what this pod is all about. I will talk about my own thoughts and feelings as I am both LDS and have spiritual gifts, something that I've had my whole life, but I always thought that it was hard to combine these gifts with my religion. This has torn me into two directions, and I have talked to many people who feel the same way. I can't choose not to have my spiritual gifts, but I can choose how I use them. And I always want to use them for good and to help others. I believe my heavenly parents gave them to me for a reason. So, this is me. Join my quest for knowledge. Tony Robbins Day 5, Episode 5. The secret to living, it's not getting, it's giving. While he was talking about how you should give more than you expect to receive, both in a relationship, as a parent, and if you are an entrepreneur with your project or company. And for me, working with children that are disabled, that's really been the key to success. It's about the giving. It's about the laying a foundation of trust and to be there no matter what. And that has really, really changed the atmosphere at work and how the class that I work in has transformed from being children that was misunderstood and really aggressive into the sweetest, most wonderful children and students that you can have. And it's been massive action transformation, but it's been a sweet journey and a wonderful journey to be a part of. But it is that, to give more than I ever expected to receive. But what I received has been so much more wonderful than I could ever imagine. And I believe that you, as being a parent to a son that with autism, you understand what I'm saying, that you just give unconditionally to them because you love them so much. And the pureness of what they give back to you, it's just so beautiful that you can't even mention it with words.
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, with my son, I cannot take anything for granted. And any progress that he makes, it's like we feel that we want to celebrate, that we want to have a party and just like go, woohoo, cool, did you hear what he said? And when he does things like that, me and my husband just look at each other and we're like, wow, did you see that? And right now, actually, I got some really cool news because we're going to be recording an episode, what we've been doing this week. And this week, we've taken a lot of massive action. And we recorded a lot of episodes because we spent the whole week together, or will be in a couple of days. But the cool thing was that my husband dropped by on a visit, and he just said that our son is asking about me. He goes around and he goes, "Where is mommy?" And that is so cool on so many levels because we're like, wow, it's a 3-word phrase, you know? But the coolest thing is that first, he notices that I'm not there and he's actually missing me. Most of the time when he wants to eat, but still, you know, it's cool. He misses me and I miss them when I'm not with them. But it's been really nice to take a little bit of time off, a breather, where I could just focus on me and my development.
Isn't it true that these are the first days that you've been away from your son at all? For like full days and not just for him being away in school. So that is just epic for you to be here on your own. And it's so much fun to be able to do this together.
Yes, he's turning 7 in November and I've had one night off when I went to a friend's wedding when he was little. I've had 2 nights off and then I had one night off when we went to a thing in Uppsala. Yeah, so I've totally been away for 4 nights and he's about to turn 7. And this here, I'm gonna have like 7 nights away. And so I'm like doubling that. It's intensive. Like you said, my stress level is pretty high when I'm home and around him all the time because you always have to be aware. And so it's been really cool just to relax and just turn that off for a while. But usually as a parent, you give a lot all the time. If you look at it as service, you're being of service to your children, especially when they're small and they need help with everything. And the secret to living is not getting, it's giving. When it comes to our children, we're probably giving a lot more than we're getting sometimes, especially when they're teenagers or when they want to break free. But as a daughter, I found that as I grew up and I got my own children, I appreciated my parents and especially my mom so much more. And I'm trying to give to her as much as possible now when I'm older. And in any relationships that I have, expecting things that don't happen usually just cause grief. But selfless giving, not expecting to get anything back, actually takes away a little bit of that grief. I'm saying give without expecting something in return. Be happy if you get something in return, but don't expect it, because that kind of breaks the magic out of it. Tony Robbins is also talking about, I want to be in control of my life. And he tries to empower people so that they can take control of their lives, not just being a victim and not just thinking that things happen to them, but actually taking responsibility and being the one that steers their car and drives their boat.
Yeah, you and me, we had plans. I thought I had total control. This week was our week. We're going to do so much about the pod and hopefully get some walking in, some talking in, and some music in. And the thing I don't have is control. So, not yesterday, the day before yesterday. We were sitting at home and I got a phone call from my son that's 16 and he says, Mom, don't worry, I broke my collarbone, but I'm calm. You should be calm. Come get me. And so I was looking at my sisters like, he's broken his collarbone. We need to go get him. And so he was at my workplace, which is the school that's like 5 minutes away from where I live. We took the car there since he said he was hurt. And I come there and he's sitting on a bench in the yard that our kids play in. Both his knees were scraped and bleeding, and he was slumped forward, and he just looked at me, and it was blood everywhere. And I was like, what happened? Well, he'd been on a moped, and they've been driving. He didn't see the bump, and he just flew and landed on his shoulder. There were a lot of boys there. He has really good friends, so they were there, and one was talking to 911 for you is 112 for us. And so they had called there and they were talking to a nurse and an ambulance was on the way, and I just took the phone and started talking to them. And so an ambulance got there and I got to go with him in that to the emergency room, and we spent 3 hours at the hospital. They checked him out and he had a broken collarbone. He had a little fracture on his kneecap. And so right now he's downstairs in a cast, or not a cast, but orthos that keeps the leg straight where he can't bend it, and he has something to keep his arm out so he can't use it because the collarbone is broken, and he's in a lot of pain, and he's quite shook, and all his friends were quite shook. And yesterday I had the whole sofa filled with boys in the age of 15, 16, and he has the best friends that could possibly they just gather up around him, they just embrace him, they just come here and hang out with him, and it's beautiful to see. But it really showed me that even though I think I control things, I just can't. Life happens to me, but what I control is how I react. Yeah, seeing my son sitting there bloody, and it's like, my stomach just dropped to my knees. But I had to be calm. I had to go in there. I cried in the ambulance on the way there. But when I was with him, I tried to have a brave face and a smile. But we had some really nice talks that evening at the ER. It was hard for him because he's such an athlete and he got into a school that plays handball. And for him to be hurt now, just before he's moving across the Sweden to the other coast to go to school and play the sport that he loves, and to be hurt this way, that can totally affect his schooling and that he wants to be a professional athlete when he grows up. It was tough to see him cry and to see him be hurt and understand that the choices that he did got him to the ER. I'm so grateful that it wasn't worse than it was. It could have been fatal, but I'm really, really grateful for all his guardian angels and everyone that keeps him safe. But sometimes life throws you curveballs and you need to adapt and you need to make the best of it. You can't control everything, but you can control how you react and how you get up and how you move on.
Yeah, we said that. This is not really in our plan of what we're going to be doing this week, but I just said, let's make lemonade. Let's just roll with this, and we can still make the best of the situation. And I think we're really doing that. We're giving him the help and support that he needs, and we're still doing what we need to do. Going on, Tony Robbins also said that energy is the source of life. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions. Where are you now, and where do you want to go? And if you 1 year from now look back at this time, what will you have achieved? Focus on where you want to go. Get the thought from the brain to the heart to achieve your why. And if you want to learn your real why, you can ask 7 levels deep. And it's something that Tony Robbins was talking about. There's like a strategy. And so you say, I want to do this. And you ask why. Well, because of this. And you go, why? And you keep asking to 7 levels deep. And that way, at your last answer, you will actually maybe have gotten closer to the core on why you really want to do something. And maybe you've anchored it even firmer in yourself, and it's something that you feel that you really, really need to do. And when you're in a momentum, just keep it up. So if you know who you are, you know where you want to go, connect with your heart and your why. And then ask yourself, how am I going to get there? Find a way to gain the capabilities, and you can always ask somebody that's already doing it or that's been there. And like I said, just get the momentum, keep it up, and never give up.
So the secret to living, it's not getting, it's giving. I think that's true. But in order to give to others, you also need to give to yourself. If you don't have people around you that gives to you, remember yourself. You have to fill your own lamp. That's what the story about the 10 virgins is, that they needed to have oil in their lamps until Christ came. If we run out of oil, then we're going to miss his second coming. And so it's really important to give to everyone else too, but don't forget to fill your own light. Don't forget to fill your own lamp with the oil, and don't forget you're the most important person in your life. And so the Tony Robbins was 5 days, but since he is Tony Robbins, he makes his own rules. And so they added a 6th day. And so we're just going to do a short episode on that one day. It's not going to be 5 episodes. It's going to be 1 episode. So you're going to have an extra bonus. With that said, just stay strong, stay happy, stay grateful, and stay blessed. Be the light, share the light, spread the light, and shine. This is my journey. Thank you so much for keeping me company today. Please download, like, share, and subscribe, and help spread the light and spread the word to expand our community. Let's bring more love, peace, and unity to this world. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Always be grateful, kind, and loving. Be brave and remember to step out of your comfort zone and smile. If you support us on Patreon, you will get access to our meditations and extra materials so you can download them as MP3. Also, we now have a Facebook group, which you can access from our Facebook community. Please answer the questions as you apply to participate. It will be a safe haven where we can keep discussing religion and spirituality, our spiritual gifts, and self-development. Remember, one person can make a difference, but together we can change the world.